Hello, and welcome back to Glitch Peaks. Today we have special guest Keith Michael from Zark TV and local host Not Found. But before we get into the interview, we're going to go ahead with our first section, which is the section where I eat something from Twin Peaks. It is time for
Double R Diner Cam.
So today on the Double R Diner Cam, I decided to go ahead and eat a slice of pie, even though we don't see pie eaten in this episode. We saw pie eaten in the last episode. This episode, we honestly don't have as much food as previous episodes. We have the baguette with brie and butter that Jerry brings, Ben Horn. So we get the first appearance of Jerry. And surprisingly, apparently the names Ben and Jerry was actually taken from the ice cream company. So I thought about eating ice cream, but I thought that might be bending the rules just a little bit. But I went ahead and bent the rules to enjoy a nice slice of cherry pie. In this episode of Twin Peaks, there were also some more donuts that are stacked in the episode, as well as coffee. Damn good coffee and hot is how it's referred to. So we had damn fine coffee earlier. This episode, we have damn good coffee. But enjoying this slice of pie. And let's go ahead and get into the interview with Keith. Hello, and welcome to Glitch Peaks. Today's guest, we've got Keith Michael from Zark TV. Keith, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so today we're talking and glitching the third episode of Twin Peaks, but technically episode 2, Zen, or the skill to catch a killer. And what did you think about this episode?
This is one of my favorite episodes in the series. For a lot of reasons, I too have a deep connection that came from a dream with the people of Tibet and their plight. And it's something I've known about for a long time, and I'm being serious. So I really appreciated, especially the chalkboard scene with Cooper throwing the stones. I thought it was hilarious, and really enjoyed it when when Truman pulled Cooper aside and it's like, so this really all came to you in a dream? Yes, it was. It was the first time, I think, in the series. Now, we're on episode 3. I remember when I first started watching it that the show is just whacked out of its mind. I think up till then, up till that scene, it was just insane that he was using this method to identify the killer.
Yeah, I think the first time that hit me, whereas like, one, that the show is insane, but two, that it's like I gotta keep watching, was the first time we're introduced to the Red Room and the dance and everything. It's like, okay, I gotta know what happens next. And of course, it's like one of those perfect cliffhangers of like, you're not gonna find out right away what's going on if you ever do.
Yeah.
A couple things that really stood out to me with this episode. So we have the first appearance of the casino One-Eyed Jack's, the casino and brothel in Canada. The first appearance of Albert, who I don't think when I first watched it was one of my favorite characters, but after watching The Return, like in The Return, he becomes my favorite character.
Sure, yeah,
and
he's
then
good.
rewatching it makes me like, with all the weirdness that happens with Twin Peaks, like, and all the weirdness that you find out that Albert and Gordon and Cooper deal with, since it is essentially like the X-Files before the X-Files existed. Yep. It makes sense that he has like a very low threshold for bullshit when they're hunting down demonic aliens who live in the woods.
And there are a bunch of great lines in this one too. Struck but did not break. I like that line when Cooper says, Lucy, make a note that the bottle was struck but did not break. And what else? There were some other great lines too. I can't think of any right now. Of course, I'm nervous about meeting tonight. Um,
Well, there's such a good scene right at like after when they first meet Albert too, where it's like they have this whole thing in the woods, and then the camera pans to Lucy, and she's behind the desk reading like a giant book that just the title just says Tibet, and it's just like it's so good. Like,
it was actually this was a time I don't know that how aware the world was about Tibet when this information came out. I know I mentioned earlier that I've learned a lot about Tibet, but I think that was all after 1989, 1990. So I must have been in college at that point.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, it was. I suppose the first time I really heard about that country and what happened to it through television. That's a pretty cool thing.
The other thing that really stuck out to me is, I guess I always we're gonna go full on with spoilers because I assume anyone who's watching like a fan show of Twin Peaks has watched the original Twin Peaks, and I even gave that kind of warning in the pilot episode of like go back and watch Twin Peaks first. Like this should not be your introduction to Twin Peaks. But with Nadine, the first time I watched the series, there's a part I missed where I always assumed she got her super strength after the accident when she loses her memory, and it was
Hmm.
just a weird like misnomer of like, oh yeah, now not only does she lose her memory, you think she's in high school again, but she also has super strength for some reason. But this actually like shows that she has it and is like holding it back, or because it's like when she gets mad at Big Ed for
Yep.
dropping the oil on her cotton balls, she's using an exercise machine and she just bends it like just nothing. It just like destroys this exercise machine.
Just another thing that I really like is it's the music. All of the music I think in Twin Peaks is perfect, and I love the use of them slowly dropping the theme song in at the perfect moments. Um, it's always cluing you in into what's happening. You know, when they have that dark key that they play, the and then the others when there's a crying scene. It's so brilliant. I can listen to the soundtrack of the show and just go through a whole range of emotions.
Yeah.
It really never ceases to amaze me. And I've been listening to the soundtrack of Twin Peaks many years now. Several of the songs are starred in my library, and they'll come up on random playlists, and I thoroughly enjoy the soundtrack.
I love listening to the soundtrack at work because it makes
Hmm.
filing DVDs extremely dramatic.
Yeah, or if you look up at someone, at the right moment,
Yeah.
and
True love at first
what did
sight.
he do? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we will be right back with Keith Michael. But before we do that, we're going to check in with our Black Lodge correspondent to see what is really going down in the Black Lodge. It is time for.
Hey guys, it's day 3. I think that I may have overdone it on the coffee. I feel kind of edgy, just a little on edge. I think I might cool it on the coffee. Really, I I, I don't think it's responsible for me to be having that much coffee at one time. So, one day at a time though. I'm gonna taper off. I'm not gonna just go cold turkey on the coffee. I think I need it, a little bit of it, in my body at this point to just keep functioning. So just a little, just like a tiny bit. Um, there's some other people here. I haven't really been able to make friends with them though. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying not to be too down on myself about that, but I think it'll come with time. It's just they're a little hard to understand. I'm still kind of figuring things out, just like the culture here. Um, one thing for certain, going to be drinking less coffee. I don't think it was really what I needed. But I miss you guys. I miss home kind of at this point, but I'm still really excited to be here. Excited to be your correspondent on the ground at the Black Lodge. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll see. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Yeah. One day at a time. One day at a time.
Thank you so much, Mitch. We all hope that you can get home from the Black Lodge safely. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you in these trying times. And now, back to our interview. Twin Peaks. There's so many characters, and they just keep adding more characters.
And they're all sleeping with each other.
Yeah.
And, watching it again, because I saw this probably 98-ish, 99. So I was at the end of college when I saw it all, and I remember becoming frustrated with the TV show. I desperately wanted to know who killed Palmer, and I remember when we found out, being extremely upset and disappointed, and not really paying attention to the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And I've come to learn that I'm not the only one that has happened to. That a lot of people feel that once the killer was revealed, they lost interest in the show. And I've heard that the director also echoed the same idea, that once we reveal who the killer is, the show is over.
So it was originally, I think it was aired on ABC? Yeah, so it was originally aired on ABC, and ABC was trying to get David Lynch to reveal the killer. He didn't want to, and then so when they did, at the beginning of the second season, like pretty early on in the second season, he left the show and didn't come back until the end. And so then it was just Mark Frost kind of taking over, and it just gets really goofy. And I still like elements of it, but as far as the whole, it loses a lot once the killer is revealed, and I think it's redeemed. Did you end up watching The Return?
I watched everything back then. But I don't remember a bunch of it. My memory of it is it's a great show, and I loved it. I loved the theme. I loved the acting. I loved the goofiness. A lot of it was silly and funny to me, even though we're not talking about silly or funny things. I just remember being let down, and then it getting weird and weirder and weirder. And like you said, it's almost like a Lost X-Files hybrid. So now watching it now, I think for a second time, I think I'm going to enjoy it much more because, I'm seeing it again with an older mind, a 20-year-old, a mind 20 years older, and I'm excited at what I've seen so far, and I think I'm going to have a good time watching the rest of the series this time around, 20 years later.
Yeah, absolutely. So you didn't watch The Return then? The Showtime one?
No, I don't think I have seen that.
Oh, that is so exciting then, because that way, if the show keeps going, if Glitch Peaks keeps going, well, either way you can end up watching. But if Glitch Peaks keeps going, we can you can watch that and we can talk about it because I feel like the majority of guests I'm going to have on have seen the whole series, so it'll be so fun. It was like 2017.
2017. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah,
and I don't know what. So this is what they call season 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
The third.
I definitely didn't see that. Because it was just recently released. I'll have to check that out.
It's brilliant, and I'm definitely going to have you back on to talk about it because it's similar kind of. I don't know. There's a lot to talk about, and I don't want to spoil anything about it, but I'm excited for you to watch with fresh eyes.
Yeah, definitely. I like the name of the first episode. My log has a message for you. The log lady was one of my favorite characters on the show.
Yeah, she's great.
I loved her. I loved her log. I loved her weird comments. You never knew what the heck she was talking about.
I don't remember if this is the first time we see it. I feel like we probably saw it in the pilot, but I like the kind of visual motif that goes throughout of it, of the talking about the soap opera in the soap opera, of the invitation to love, where it's like
the invitation to love, that television
yeah,
set. Yeah,
you'll see characters watching this ridiculous soap opera, and it's like,
invitation to love.
yeah, not self-aware. And then there's also David Lynch's nice, like, he does these interesting like visual homages to his other work, where it's like the title for that soap opera is on top of blue velvet, just like the material.
Yeah.
And then and then the other thing that really sticks out to me is the zigzag carpet in the red room is similar to the apartment in Eraserhead. When he's like walking through the lobby of his apartment, it's like the same carpet. And so to me, it's like, since he does kind of think of his like cinema as creating dreams, like paintings that move, these kind of, surrealist dreamlike paintings, that maybe this spirit world in the woods is a similar kind of dream landscape as in Eraserhead. All right, folks, let's go ahead and hear a song that is made entirely from the audio of the VHS tape of Twin Peaks. It is time for
Roadhouse Jukebox. Shall I dare you on summer's and fly to my love and more temperate, with rough wings to shake, darling buds, and every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance nature's changing course and hot with thy eternal fire. Lose possession that fair thou horse, nor shall where's the new girl cast your every and hot sky. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day, cast yonder lovely more and more temperate, rough wings to shake, darling, and every fair and hot sometimes undelivered love by chance, when nature's changing course and trend, with thy eternal summer shall lose possession, dare thou horse, nor shall where's the new girl cash on delivery, Bobby. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Dare to my love and more temperate and hot wings to shake, and every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance, when nature's changing course dare brings up with thy eternal hot, nor lose possession that fair thou horse, nor shall where's the new girl cash on delivery, Bobby. Damn! And hot. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Cash on delivery, Bobby, and more temperate, rough wings to shake, darling buds. Damn! Every fair, sometimes undelivery, Bobby. Nature's changing course and trend, with thy eternal summer shall nature's delivery shall be that fair thou horse, nor shall where's the new girl lie behind just walked in.
All right, well, I hope you all enjoyed listening to that song half as much as I enjoyed recording it for you. Before we get back into the last part of our interview with Keith Michael, we are going to go ahead and have our fortunes told to us by none other than One-Eyed Jack. It is time for
One-Eyed Jack's Luck of the Draw. Hello and welcome to One-Eyed Jack's Luck of the Draw. On today's fortune telling, we had a request from a fan of the show's mom about her relationship, and so going to do a 3-card reading with some love advice. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so as always, we're going to start with shuffle number 1 and try to do a little bridge trick here. Shuffle number 2. That was supposed to happen, little card trick there. And shuffle number 3. And then just, get them all get all the cards where they're supposed to go. Sometimes it takes a little trouble, a little more time than usual. And so the first card, we got the 3 of Spades, followed by the King of Spades. And then lastly, we have the 7 of Diamonds. Okay, so we have the 3 of Spades, which corresponds with the 3 of Swords, which can mean heartbreak, tears, separation, quarreling, division, and delay. The 3 of Swords indicates things are not going well in your personal life and foretells problems arriving in the near future. Be prepared for emotional upset and arguing. Sometimes the 3 of Swords means the end of a close romantic or platonic relationship, or a temporary short separation from a partner. The next card we have is the King of Spades, which corresponds with the King of Swords, which is a man in authority, powerful, and a wise counselor. A lawsuit. The King of Swords is logical and rational. Although he can be old-fashioned in his ways of thinking, he is also full of innovations. If he believes an idea is outworn, or even if it is his own, he will quickly discard it. He may be here to counsel you, so be sure to listen. He's a firm friend, but can become an enemy if crossed. The person in your life represented by this card could be someone in the military or law enforcement, political office, or even a doctor. Either way, this person is in a position of authority. And for the third and final card, we got the 7 of Diamonds, which corresponds with the 7 of Pentacles in the tarot, which means a harvest yet to be reaped. The promise of fortune, pause, speculation, and anxiety over the future. Now is the time for patience. You have to wait before all your work, toil, and enterprise will pay off. Try not to be anxious about the result. If you have been diligent, everything will work out fine. This applies to work and business dealings, as well as the possibility of getting a loan. This is a card of pause, of temporary stillness in activities. Now you have the time to ponder what your next move will be. So, I'm not sure what this person's mom has going through in their life. I don't know if they're going through a heartbreak she's experiencing or on the verge of experiencing a heartbreak. Experiencing something that doesn't seem like it'll last, but the King of Pentacles could be a friend or a partner she's involved with. If dealing with divorce or anything of that, it might be the lawyer or lawsuit, or even just a metaphorical negotiation with authority or power in the relationship. Definitely, my advice is to take some time to cultivate and communicate your needs. And the Seven of Diamonds seems like it'll pay off, so kind of like a fruits of your labor sort of thing. However, it does seem like there is a temporary sadness or a break either going on now or in the near future with the Three of Spades. And this has been One-Eyed Jack's Luck of the Draw. Back to you, Omnia.
Thank you to One-Eyed Jack for that magnificent and magical fortune telling. And now, without further ado, here is the last part of our interview with Keith Michael.
I have to admit, I've never seen Eraserhead. I've added it to my list of things to do.
That one's interesting. It's very, very, very Lynchian. Compared to his other movies, it's very much like his, very art house compared to some of his other. I don't think you could call any of his movies conventional, but compared to some of the more in this world movies.
I will definitely be checking that out this weekend, along with the next episode of Twin Peaks. So I'm going to have a very Lynchy weekend, Lynchy weekend ahead of me. But that is good. That's a good thing.
What else do you got going on? You got Zark TV.
Yep. So I am working on Zark TV, which is a group of friends. We're trying to release an episode, a 20 to 30 minute episode every other week. It's just a bunch of silly comedy bits, loosely tied together, and that you can check out on YouTube by searching for Zark.tv. The other project I'm working on, Local Host Not Found, that is a music project that I've started. I am slowly, when I have time, making musical architecture and layering sounds to create space and feelings. And so that is my musical project. And I'm trying to think, do I have other things that I'm working on? No, I think that's it. Just those two. They're keeping me busy. Not enough time in the day, and too much time spent on real work. That's the problem.
Feel that. So anything else you want to say Twin Peaks related?
No, just I forgot all about my favorite line. There's a fish in the percolator. I've been saying it all day. Really, my wife doesn't. She never saw the show.
She has no idea what you're doing.
No idea. I had to explain it and then show her a quick video of it, and she still. I don't think she understands.
Well, even in the context of the show, like, did his wife put the fish in there? Does the fish just show up? Like,
I
what?
forgot who put the fish in there, but my wife's like, "What does that even mean?" I'm like, "Well, something's fishy. Something's going on. This is." And I like them at the diner. I think the next scene, still can't get the taste of fish out of my mouth.
Yeah,
it was great. I just like saying that now. It's just I wouldn't have started saying it had I not started to rewatch the series. But it's great. I think I'm going to try to pull that at a party. If I see a lot of people drinking coffee at the end of a long dinner, I might just run in there and do that. And
stop them all. Tell them that. Fish.
It's only one person might recognize what I'm doing. There's a fish in the percolator.
Also, you'll need to sample that sound for Local Host Not Found.
Oh yeah.
Thank you to Keith Michael for that exclusive interview about Twin Peaks. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all had a great time watching Glitch Peaks with me. And we will be back with you soon. So thanks for tuning in.